right, friends, fans, and fam. Welcome back for the second half of tonight's Snarl card in Vancouver. Wally, Johnny, and Tex back here with you, and with 3 more big matches, including the main event tonight, with Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man of Money Incorporated, goes one-on-one against Papa Shango of the Sectarians.
And talking about money, I paid plenty to see the $1 Million Man shut down the sex voodoo priest. I'm finally beginning to feel like this war with them is fast becoming winnable.
Johnny, you have no idea just how winnable the situation between RWL and the Sectarians has become. But we must move forward on to our next matchup. Second half opening. The Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, in a non-title matchup against Triple Crowner Liberty Belle Danielle Heathcote.
Welcome back, everyone. Our second half opening contest, a non-title match set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Tokyo, Japan, here's the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Now here's a lady that's posed some problems for American powers in the past. Asuka has scored a win or 2 over Patty Powers. And she and Liberty Belle Danielle have split a couple of matches already. So, I'm getting the feeling that Danielle's going into this match with her guard way up. Asuka has definitely been a difficult opponent.
The former Ladies Legends champ has gone back and forth with Patty and Danielle in both singles and tag matches. And no kidding, she's a tough opponent to hold down for a 3 count or to get a tap out when over. I'm leaning towards Danielle, of course, but Asuka's not gonna be some quickie 5-minute matchup. No, these two will be taking it up a notch.
Well, I can tell you Danielle isn't afraid of Asuka. She's not apprehensive about this match with Asuka. But like you said, GB, she is definitely going in with her guard way the hell on up.
Sister Golden Hair from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She's NRWL Ladies Triple Crown Champion and the reigning Snarl Women's Champion, All-American Liberty Belle Danielle Heathcote.
Danielle bringing along Sister Golden Hair, as MJ Ferrantino is otherwise engaged backstage, and Patty Powers isn't even in the building tonight, so it's Golden Hair's trick on duty this evening, and I'm sure it'll be a quiet moment for her, as Danielle and Asuka settle their differences without any need of outside intervention from her. But this match is likely to get kinda personal, and she needs to keep that in mind, just in case she has to earn a little bodyguard duty pay.
Hang on a minute. Somebody's got a microphone and you know what that means.
Just a few quick things I'd like to say tonight, so let's start with next week. I'll be in a 6-woman tag match, joined by Brooklyn Von Braun and Pam Parsons, and I hope you'll all be checking that one out. Now, let's get into the future endeavored. You don't crack me with a steel chair and get away with it. Me and some friends want to see you at Labor Day Slamathon, and you'd better catch up on rest and training, because we're looking for a tables, ladders, and chairs match. And you know how it's gonna look if you 4 heifers don't sign, or don't show. So be ready to sign those papers when they get to you.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Liberty Belle Danielle Heathcote is going to be very busy for the rest of this tour, and now she's got to deal with Asuka. Willie Johnson rings the bell. Asuka charges. Crucifix pin right out of the gate. Whoa, no, but just a 1. That would have been humiliating right there. Danielle whips Asuka to the far corner, misses with the running knee. Asuka whips her to the opposing corner, misses with her splash. Danielle gets a hold of her, drives a knee right into her back. Asuka counters with a jawjacker, misses with the dropkick. Danielle counters with the right, gets a hold of Asuka, whips her to the far right corner. Asuka counters real quick. They lock up, they tussle. Asuka shoved away, back into the corner again. A clothesline from Liberty Belle Danielle, and an alley-oop assist out of the corner with a powerbomb. A kick to the chest from Liberty Belle Danielle as Sister Golden Hair applauds. The bodyguard of American Power standing ringside for this one. Asuka misses again with the drop kick. Catches the kick. Danielle takes her down to the mat. A stomp to the midsection. Oh, here we go. A little bit of gator rolling kind of stuff here, but Danielle releases the hold. Stops a minute to say hello to the nice folks in Vancouver. Asuka makes her way back inside. Gets a hold of Danielle. Side suplex from Asuka. The Empress of Tomorrow goes behind. Rear headlock on Danielle. And it's locked in pretty good. Danielle up on one knee. Couple of hard elbows to the gut. Asuka backs off. Danielle whips her to the far right corner again. Oh man, Asuka counters one more time. Winds up the arm on Danielle. Top wrist lock. Another set of hard shots to the midsection from Danielle. Heathcote backs off Asuka again. One more time into that far right corner. Danielle turns her around. And now just putting the boot straight to the throat. No more BS here. Down goes Asuka. Danielle up on the top turnbuckle here, but changes her mind about any potential high-risk maneuver. Asuka misses with that heel kick. Danielle nails her with another. Danielle whipped over the top rope out onto the apron. Asuka doing a little bit of showboating for herself, too. Fireman's carry from Liberty Bell Danielle. A hard right. And taken down into a crossface. And this could be it right here. Nope, Asuka finds her way out of that crossface and knows it could be big trouble. Danielle counters the side suplex on Asuka. Asuka goes behind. German release suplex from the Empress of Tomorrow. Danielle rounded up, catches a clothesline, catches a second one. Asuka, oh look at this, Danielle swings and misses, and there's a kick from Asuka, takes Danielle down to the canvas. Asuka nails her with a hard kick. Rebounds off the ropes. Oh, man. Well, there's a pin, but no good. Danielle finds her way out of the pin. Asuka stalking her. Goes behind. Oh, here we go. The Asuka lock. This could be bad news. It's too close to the ropes. Referee Willie Johnson going to make her start all over again. Danielle with a jawjacker. Back into the sleeper hold for a second attempt at another jawjacker. Drags Danielle Heathcote off. Asuka catches a kick. Danielle takes her down to the mat. Setting her up for the ankle lock. Looks like the third submission Danielle's tried to use on Asuka so far. Referee Willie Johnson checking things out. Asuka in big trouble. Can't seem to get herself extricated from this situation. Danielle releases the hold and relieves the pain. Danielle countered with an arm drag by Asuka. Asuka finally nails one of those drop kicks at long last. Danielle rolls out to the floor right in front of Sister Golden Hair. Asuka up all the way up on the top turnbuckle. Well, that did not work out. She was trying for that elbow but didn't get it. A spinning kick. And Asuka takes Danielle down on the floor on the outside as Willie Johnson continues to count. Kick to the midsection from Danielle Heathcote. Asuka counters with a right, a kick. Danielle counters with a chop. Makes her way back inside the ring. Followed by Asuka. Look at this. A little bit of shadow boxing here. Asuka has her up in the front cradle. Drives her back into the turnbuckle and hauls her out towards center ring. Asuka rounds her up. Danielle counters with an elbow to the leg. And again, putting those size 10s into the throat of Asuka. Asuka escapes the corner, catches a kick from Danielle. Taken down again into the crossface one more time. Asuka struggling to get free. Not sure why Danielle released the hold, but she did. She might think the damage is already done. Well, look at this. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Well, just the 2. Asuka getting the right shoulder up just in time. Danielle Heathcote now stalking Asuka. Could be trouble here. Another sleeper hold attempt. And another jawjacker to Danielle. She may want to think about not doing that anymore. Asuka caught up in a suplex from Danielle Heathcote. Nicely done. Pretty rolling suplex from Liberty Bell Danielle. There's a shoulder tackle. A rebound off the rope, another shoulder tackle, a rebound off the ropes again. Asuka shoves her away. Danielle makes it to the outside apron, climbs her way up to the top turnbuckle. Asuka didn't see it coming. Double axe handle right to the top of the head. Asuka rounded up by Danielle, whipped into the corner. Asuka counters. Asuka gets a hold of Danielle, whips her out over the apron again. Brings her back in, over the top rope. Asuka gathers her up. Danielle counters the kick with an elbow to the leg. Asuka shoves her into the corner. Danielle shoves her into the corner. A kick from Asuka. A shot from Danielle that counters a kick from Asuka. Asuka with a kick to the midsection takes Danielle down to one knee, rebounds off the ropes, and a heel kick. That takes Danielle Heathcote down to the canvas. Asuka starting to show a little bit of signs of fatigue here. This match has gone on a nice chunk already. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, but no. Danielle Heathcote kicking out at 2. Much to the delight of Sister Golden Hair. But this might be bad. Asuka stalking Danielle again. And try for the Asuka lock, but Danielle says, no, I'd rather not do that if you don't mind. Dragon Sleeper from Asuka. Danielle slaps her hand away. How about that one? Asuka whipped over the top rope, out onto the floor. Danielle Heathcote doing a little bit of showing off of her own. Inviting Asuka back on in so she can do some more. Referee Willie Johnson continuing the count on the Empress of Tomorrow, who is just now starting. Well, here we go. The count just started all over again as Danielle steps to the outside. Makes her way back inside, decides against a brawl on the exterior here. Asuka hangs her up off the top rope, makes her way back inside the ring. Danielle could be in a spot here. Whip to the ropes. Arm drag from Asuka. And oh man, well, this one's gone back and forth quite a bit too. Danielle back up on her, catches a kitchen sink knee out of no place from Asuka. Danielle sweeps the leg. Rounds Asuka back up. A kick countered by Asuka. A spinning back fist puts Danielle against the rope. A couple of kicks to her legs and down she goes. Her legs wouldn't even hold her up. Man! Asuka making her way up to the top turnbuckle here. Here we go. Misses with the diving elbow. Danielle steps out of the way just in time, much to the delight of Sister Golden Hair. Asuka whipped to the corner. Counters. Escapes the corner. Gets a hold of Danielle Heathcote. Oh, trying to set up a submission here, but no good. Again, too close to the ropes. Danielle, face down on the canvas, not necessarily a good sign. Look at this, a Hurricane Rana to Asuka, completely unexpected. A leg sweep from Asuka. Asuka rounds up Danielle. Gets a hold of her hard, whip to the far left corner, and oh man, just collided with her hard. What a splash from Asuka. Asuka taken down quickly by Liberty Bell Danielle. There's a stomp to the face. Liberty Bell Danielle, gator rolling with Asuka here. And now into that crossface again. And this match has gone on quite a bit now. Danielle releases the hold again. Not sure what that's about, but dragging Asuka towards the ring. Rounds her up. A couple of wrist clutch kicks from Liberty Bell Danielle, who begins to stalk Asuka again. And again, another attempt at a sleeper hold, and there's another jawjacker. I told you shouldn't have tried that anymore, huh? Better find a new record, huh? Whip to the ropes. Asuka countered with a kick from Liberty Bell Danielle. Asuka counters Danielle. Tries for the jawjacker, catches a kick to the midsection. Danielle charges. Whoa, what a little spear right there. Took Asuka down hard. Asuka rounded up. Asuka counters with a kick to Danielle. A clothesline takes Danielle Heathcote out onto the floor. Oh, man. This one's gone on for quite a while. And now both ladies have got to be pretty wiped out by now. Referee Willie Johnson counting Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote on the outside. Asuka going to break the count and go on out after her. There's a stomp to the leg. Asuka rounds her up. Danielle counters. Asuka counters. Asuka makes her way back into the ring. So does Danielle Heathcote. A Hurricane Rana out of no place to Asuka from Danielle. Danielle makes her way to the top turnbuckle in the far corner. Asuka slowly making her way back to a standing position here. And here it goes. Oh, tried for the Hurricane Rana, but wound up catching a power bomb and a pin. Oh, man. Too close to the ropes again for Asuka. Another pin attempt that didn't work out. She's got to be frustrated by now. She is stalking Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote in the corner. Rounds her up. Into the Asuka lock. Oh, man, this ain't good. Danielle, flailing. No ropes to get to. Asuka's got it cinched in pretty damn good. Danielle Heathcote struggling. Asuka releases the hold. Oh, this is not good. Asuka rounds her up. Arm drag from Liberty Bell. Misses with that double axe handle. She's got to be a little disoriented from that hold. There's a set of headshots right into the turnbuckle. 10 of them. And down goes Asuka. Danielle misses with the stomp. Catches a kick from Asuka. Asuka's got her up. Danielle slips through the back door. Look at this right here. Wheelbarrow bulldog, and down went Asuka. Wow. A stomp to the midsection. Danielle rolling around on the mat with Asuka again. Slams her down to the canvas. Gathers her up. And here we go again into the crossface one more time. As this, she is tapping out. Willie Johnson's ringing the bell. Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote picks up a submission win over Asuka. Wow.
The time, 13 minutes and 45 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Liberty Bell Danielle.
Poor thing. She's staggering a little bit. And man, she sure delivered a buzzer beater of a matchup against Asuka. I know she is entirely too happy with this particular win. And Asuka has certainly seemed to have American Power's number in recent months. But Danielle tried every submission in the arsenal and finally managed to nail it with that second crossface. Asuka couldn't take no more, and that was it. Folks, we're going to be back with a couple of more great matches coming up. So stick around. We're going to be right back with more Snarl right after this. We're moving right along to another ladies match, this time a ladies tag. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance facing Frankie Pacone and Marta Gordon, Power and Beauty, with Sylvia Strong in their corner.
The following ladies tag team contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, the team of Katana Chance and Kaden Carter.
All right, GB, Mr. Embedded with the ginchiest manager in the world in her stable. What kind of insights you got for us on this match? Because I know you got some.
Kaden and Katana making about their 5th appearance with a fairly even win, loss track record, facing Frankie and Marta, who share a similar win-loss rating, although for many, many more matches. Sylvia's faith in power and beauty is still unshaken, though. They've performed brilliantly at times, and Sylvia's goal is to get Frankie and Marta to where that level of performance is consistent. This match with Carter and Chance should be a fairly decent jumping off point to get in power and beauty to where the team truly needs to be.
And their opponents, accompanied by Sylvia Strong Francis, Frankie Pacone, and Marta Gordon, the team of power and beauty.
This should be a pretty solid matchup. Both teams about the same overall by the numbers, with Frankie and Marta holding the big slice of experience over their opponents. And they're also known for being able to compete in long matches, where endurance comes into play, and Frankie and Marta still hold the record for longest ladies tag match in our WL history, dating way back to 2017. Turning in an insane 53-minute long battle in which they also had the good taste to win.
Yeah, I remember that night. Me and T-Dog were there that night. I remember it was one of the Bell Council girls and blacklisted Mexican wrestler Sexy Star that Power and Beauty picked up the win over, and it was really a long match, and what a match it was, too.
That's crazy, and that happened when they've just gotten here as two fresh-faced rookies. Who would have thought Frankie and Marta would end up as part of the Stronghold?
All right, it'll be Kaden Carter and Frankie Pacone opening things up for this particular ladies tag team matchup as referee Willie Johnson rings the bell. Here we go. They move center ring. Kaden Carter quickly countered. Frankie Pacone quickly countered. A elbow that takes down Frankie Pacone. And here comes Katana Chance. Frankie Pacone standing center ring waiting right there for her. She charges, doesn't connect. Frankie Pacone gets a hold of her. Nice suplex from Frankie Pacone. Frankie Rounds up Katana Chance. Katana Chance counters and nails her with a right. Frankie counters with a shot to the midsection. A drop toe hold from Frankie Picone and right away into a submission. Wasting no time at all. Katana Chance turns it around, finds her way out. Frankie still getting back to her feet. Katana Chance right there. Whips her to the ropes. Ducks under. Makes the leapfrog. Here comes Picone. And look at this. Man, what a tilt-a-whirl DDT. Katana Chance catches a kick from Frankie Picone. Frankie escorts Katana to her team's corner, smashes her head into the buckle. Here comes Marta Gordon on the tag. A double team in the offing here. Air assisted shoulder tackle as Marta Gordon takes over for Power and Beauty. Marta not playing games here, stamping the hands and fingers of Katana Chance. Frankie Picone gets a hold of Katana. Looks like he's going to try and take her back to the P&B corner. And she succeeds in doing it. Here comes Frankie Picone again. Another double team. They're setting it up. Rebound off the ropes. There's a drop toe hold and an elbow across the back of Katana Chance. Frankie Picone steps out. She is the legal person in the ring. Marta Gordon. Whoa, look at this. Frankie Picone takes her down hard with a chop block on the outside. Katana Chance counters with a right. A chop across the chest and a kick that puts Frankie Picone against the barricade. Sylvia Strong acting like ain't nothing wrong. Nice and calm, as she always is. Katana Chance rounds up Frankie, pitches her towards the timekeeper's area. Misses with the clothesline. Frankie with a pretty nice wraparound DDT out there on the floor. Face first into the mats. Goes Katana Chance. Katana catches a suplex from Frankie Picone. A stomp to the back of the head and a knee to the skull. Pretty nice combination right there from Frankie. Frankie Picone drives her into the timekeeper's area. Head first into the barricades. Ow. Katana Chance pitched towards the far corner barricades. Frankie Picone deftly leaps over. Rounds up Katana. Katana counters with a kick to the midsection. Locks up Frankie. And here we go. Whirlicane Rana time. As Frankie Picone goes for a little trip. Katana Chance rolled back inside the ring by Frankie. The referee continuing to count here. Frankie takes her time getting in. Drop kick from Katana Chance takes Frankie down. A pretty nice splash right there. And here's a cover and a hook of the leg. One, but just one. Barely just a one at that. Frankie Picone rounded up by Katana Chance being escorted to her team's corner. Frankie goes head first into the buckle. Here comes Caden Carter on the tag. The double team. Here we go. Oh, man. A drop kick to the back of the head for Frankie Picone as Caden Carter takes over. Nails Marta Gordon with a right. Now what she got? She's going to hang her up off the middle rope. Down goes Marta Gordon. A kick to the leg of Frankie Picone. Caden Carter with a kick to the midsection. Sets her up for the power bomb, but Frankie Picone would rather not go. Makes the punt with a couple of elbows to the head. And a DDT. Face first into the canvas goes Caden Carter. She looks stunned. Frankie Picone gets a hold of her. Hard whip to the ropes. Frankie ducks under. Rounds up Caden Carter into a spinning neckbreaker. Frankie with the belly-to-belly suplex to Caden Carter. Frankie rounds her up. Arm breaker from Frankie Picone. And now into an arm bar, stretching the arm, doing even further damage. And so far, Power and Beauty performing consistently as they usually do. Frankie Picone nails her with another arm breaker, still going back to work on the same arm, trying to wear it out as best she can. You can't fight if you can't hit. Frankie Picone rolls her over, covers. One, but just a one. Katana Chance right there to break it up. Caden Carter back to her feet. Frankie misses with the drop kick. Caden Carter whips her to the ropes. Makes the duck under. Oh, man, low drop kick to the knee. And down went Frankie Picone. Frankie slams her face down to the canvas by the arm. Frankie Pacone rounding up Caden Carter again. Takes her back to her team's corner. Here we go, head first into the buckle. Here comes Marta Gordon on the tag. Frankie Pacone setting it up here. Here we go, another air-assisted shoulder tackle. Marta Gordon with a stomp to the midsection of Caden Carter. Caden Carter slams her face down to the canvas by her arm. Caden Carter gathers her up again. Escorts her to her team's corner. Head first into the buckle. But Marta counters and escapes, but catches a cheap shot from Katana Chance. Pays her back with a shot to the face and a flapjack face first into the canvas for Caden Carter. Here's a cover. 1, 2. Well, that's as close to a near fall as we've gotten so far. Caden Carter still being controlled here. Marta Gordon quickly countered a leg sweep from Caden Carter. Caden with a face buster to Marta. And a series of wrist clutch stomps right to the chest of Marta Gordon. Caden Carter with that parting shot out of the way. She brings in Katana Chance on the tag. Marta Gordon locks up Katana, whips her to the ropes. Gets a hold of her. Nice suplex from Marta. Marta Gordon lines up the arm on Katana Chance. A stomp to the shoulder. As Marta Gordon beats it out of town, turns it over to Frankie Pacone. Frankie. Whoa, a charging move that didn't connect. Frankie Pacone pays her back with a cravat suplex. And man, Sylvia Strong has been amazingly cool in this matchup, huh? A kick to the chest from Frankie Pacone. Katana Chance being dragged toward center. Frankie Pacone goes to work on the legs now. Having done enough damage to the arms, now she's just trying to stretch the legs, the knees, the ligaments, and the whole thing. Frankie covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2, oh, well. Caden Carter deciding this match should go on just a little bit longer, huh? Frankie Pacone. Oh, look at this. Oh, man. Frankie Pacone got a hold of her, but Katana Chance had to find her way out. Driving a drop kick to the knee. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Frankie. Here comes Caden Carter again. Here comes another double team. Rebound off the top rope. Drop kick to the back of the head of Frankie Pacone. Caden Carter going after Marta Gordon too. Real ambitious, huh? Wow. And she's going to do it again. Hang her up off the middle rope and down she goes. It worked once, it'll work again for the first time. Power and Beauty, both members of the team laid out. And for the first time, it's looking like Caden Carter and Katana Chance are in control of things. There's a switcheroo. Frankie Pacone indicating to the fans there's nothing wrong. Everything's fine. Katana Chance watching as Caden Carter delivers a jawjacker to Frankie Pacone. Frankie rounded up. Caden Carter drives a series of knees into the midsection of Frankie. Down she goes. Marta Gordon is still laid out, but finally gets back up to her feet. A heel hook stretch on the outside from Caden Carter on Frankie Pacone. Caden Carter. Whoa. Got out of the way quick on that one. Delivers an elbow to the top of the head of Frankie Pacone. Still focused on Marta Gordon, though. Leaps her way back into the ring. Goes after Marta Gordon again. Tags her with a right and a drop kick. That puts Marta Gordon back out on the floor. Frankie Pacone nails Caden Carter with a headbutt. That showboating on the apron. I've warned you all about that. Frankie Pacone misses with the diving elbow. She tried to reach it though, but no good. Here comes Katana Chance on the tag. Frankie Pacone whips her to the ropes. Hard knee to the midsection. Down she went. Katana Chance taken down quickly by Frankie Pacone. Beautiful classic wrestling takedown. A stomp to the back. Frankie Pacone drives an elbow into the head of Katana Chance. Follows that up with a stomp. Caden Carter nowhere to be seen. Not at her tag corner. A knee to the head from Frankie Pacone. Katana Chance struggling to her feet. A chop across the chest in her own team's corner as Frankie Pacone starts torturing the arms against the ropes. Frankie with a chop across the chest. Rounds her up. Hangs her up in the tree of woe. Katana Chance, with quick counter, finding herself out of the danger zone here. A hard shot to Frankie Picone. And a sudden, unexpected whirlicane Rana for Frankie Picone from Katana Chance. This match now a little bit over halfway over. Slam face first into the canvas. Katana Chance going to have to do it by herself. Kaden Carter still nowhere in sight. Oh, well, that did not work out too good. Katana Chance messes up on the high-risk maneuver. Slams Frankie Picone's head to the canvas. Takes herself all the way up to the top. Well, she nails the splash that time, and here's a cover. One. No, not even. Marta Gordon right there to break things up. Frankie Picone still on the canvas, though, as Katana Chance takes her chances again. And here we go, another beautiful spinning splash from Katana Chance. She's going to the well just once too often, I think. Here we go again. Oh, she nailed another one, and here's a cover and a hook of the leg. One. I really did think she was going to crash and burn on that one. Kaden Carter with a shot to the back of Marta Gordon. Whips her out to the outside. Goes out after her. Katana Chance still working on Frankie Picone here. Frankie Picone delivers a shot to the midsection. Kaden Carter driving knees into the midsection of Marta Gordon on the outside. Frankie Picone choking Katana Chance with the top rope. A couple of right to left. Another shot. Look at this. Sylvia Strong got to get out of the way. As Kaden Carter delivers a kick to Marta Gordon. Frankie Picone working on Katana Chance on the inside. Electric chair drop. Kaden Carter still beating up Marta Gordon on the outside with a stomp to the leg. Katana Chance escapes the corner. Tags Frankie with a stunning right. Frankie Picone backs her off again. A hard right from Frankie. Frankie got a hold of her by the wrist. She won't let go. But another drop kick to the knee cuts her loose. Katana Chance flips Frankie to the rope. Drop toe hold center ring. And a little bit of a walk across the back of Frankie Picone. Katana Chance slams Frankie's head into the buckle. Here comes Kaden Carter on the tag. Hard shot to the midsection. What a match we've got going here. Look at this. A nice crucifix from Kaden Carter. Kaden takes Frankie Picone down. Lines up the leg. Oh, man, that is nasty. What a submission we got right here. Marta Gordon coming to the rescue, but Frankie Picone finds her own way out. An elbow takes down Kaden Carter. Frankie Picone locks her up again. Another knee to the midsection. Frankie Picone regaining control of things here. Kaden Carter goes behind. Takes her down. Kaden Carter goes for the cover, but Marta Gordon right there before even the count of one. Marta catches a kick from Kaden Carter. Oh, man, what a nasty slam. As Katana Chance is brought in, Frankie Picone being countered by the referee on the outside. Katana Chance takes down Marta Gordon as well. Frankie Picone indicating to the fans that she has had quite enough of this nonsense. Oh, things are about to get even worse. How about that? Over the top rope and out face first onto the mats goes Katana Chance. That was not good. A driving knee into the head of Katana Chance from Frankie Picone. Well, Sylvia Strong still as calm as anything. Katana Chance goes to work on Frankie Picone on the outside as the referee continues to count. This match is about 3/4 of the way over, and we still ain't nowhere near a winner or a tap-out. Frankie Picone catches another whirlicane Rana from Katana Chance. Marta Gordon finally back up on her feet and back at her tag corner. Whoa, delivers a shot to Katana Chance, suggesting if you want to try that again, it might not be a good thing. But she's going to try it anyway. Delivers a shot to Marta Gordon, delivers a second one. And a third down goes Marta Gordon again. Ugh, man, this match has been insane. Katana Chance finding Marta Gordon on the outside. Frankie Picone showboating to the fans in the front row. Kaden Carter's laid out Katana Chance. Rolled back into the ring by Frankie. Back up on her feet. Kaden Carter gets locked up by Frankie Picone. One-arm suplex, and she went rolling. Katana Chance, a little tentative about getting back in that ring now. Referee continuing the count. Marta Gordon still seeing the pretty birdies and still hearing the pretty birdies and seeing the flashing lights. Katana Chance slams Frankie's head to the floor. A kick from Frankie Picone. Frankie catches a clothesline from Katana Chance. She charges, and she is definitely slowing down. This match has gone on way too long. Hard shot forearm from Katana Chance as the referee continues to count Frankie Picone. She makes her way back inside. Goes after Marta Gordon yet again. Another dropkick. Look at this. Marta Gordon had quite enough. Delivers the Hurricane Rana to Katana Chance. Tags her with a right, suggesting that she needs to back the hell off. Over the top rope, and whoa, what a beautiful splash from Katana Chance. Frankie Picone just about rising to her feet now as Marta Gordon catches the shot. A clothesline from Frankie Picone takes Katana Chance down. Marta Gordon back up on her feet. Oh, man. Missed the apron by inches. Frankie Picone back in the ring. The referee continuing to count. Katana Chance. Caden Carter taken down with a shoulder by Frankie. Katana Chance will not leave Marta Gordon alone. Now Frankie Picone up on the top turnbuckle in the far left corner. Waiting on, changed her mind about going after Caden Carter. Katana Chance still on the outside, still being counted by Willie Johnson. Finally makes her way back into the ring. Frankie charges, misses with the clothesline. Katana Chance is squirted to the ropes by Frankie. Frankie Picone with the whip, misses with the knee that time. Misses with the right. Katana Chance puts on the brakes. Frankie Picone catches a kick to the midsection. Katana Chance gathers her up again. They lock up. And we'll try for the Hurricane Rana, but we'll wound up getting splashed face first into the mat by Frankie Picone. Oh man, look at this. Less than 2.5 minutes to go, and we're still going. Caden Carter brought in on the tag. Frankie Picone gets a hold of her. And what we got here? Chicken wing suplex with a bridge. 1, 2. Oh man, that's as close as we've come so far. Hard shot to the midsection from Caden Carter. Frankie Picone locked up. Whip to the ropes. Oh, beautiful spinning neck breaker. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. And finally, this war of attrition comes to an end with Katana Chance and Caden Carter picking up the upset win over Power and Beauty.
The time, 18 minutes and 10 seconds. Your winners by pinfall, Caden Carter and Katana Chance.
You can't criticize either team, with both pairs putting in an exemplary performance, ending in another exciting buzzer beater of a match, with Caden and Katana picking up the 3 count on Frankie Picone. And with Marta just a microsecond too late to break the pin and save her partner and the match. This gives Caden and Katana a little more upward movement in the ladies' tag division. And sorry, GB, but I guess it's back to the training facilities for Power and Beauty.
Hey, who's feeling a main event before the main event? Well, let's go have a look at this. A triple threat steel cage match involving the Mountie, the Big Boss Man, and one half of the Legends TV Tag Champions, Sergeant Slaughter.
And they've all already banged heads previously in singles matches in recent weeks. This ought to be good.
This next contest will be a 3-way steel cage match, winnable by pinfall, submission, or by escaping the cage, 1 fall, 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing 268 pounds, please stand for the Mountie.
And in those recent weeks, GB, only a handful of super loyal Canadians have even bothered to stand for the Mountie's arrival in the building. I had an assistant principal in middle school who got about as much respect. Well, let me just say at the outset that I'm already favoring the Sarge in this match, as he not only beat the Mountie before, but has won half of the Legends TV Tag Champions with the Patriot. Old Sarge has been cleaning house lately.
Well, Wally, while that's true, this is an entirely different dynamic. I mean, a steel cage match with 3 possible ways you can win. The Mountie's definitely got a little bit of an edge.
His opponent from Cobb County, man.
And let's not ignore the fact that the big boss man whooped on the Mountie in their last matchup. And well, he's an old hand when it comes to steel cage matches and all sorts of outlandish stipulations. One might remember his pepper on a pole match with Al Snow during the Attitude Era.
Holy crap, yes. And the circumstances surrounding that match are even darker still.
Yes, they were. Poor Al Snow. Poor Pepper, for that matter.
And from Paris Island, South Carolina, weighing 310 pounds, one half of the Legends TV Tag Champions, Sergeant Slaughter.
Well, Wally, you wasn't lying when you said Sarge has been cleaning house lately. He sure has. Him and the Patriot, the Legends TV Tag Champs, and not doing too badly on himself in singles competition either. But again, this is a steel cage match. You got three possible ways you can win it. You can pin, you can submit, you can make the climb out of the top of the cage. And any one of those is a distinct possibility with any of these guys. But the Sarge, well, like you say, he's been hot lately. Let's see how he fares in this three-way steel cage matchup.
Don't know who's going to win this deal, but I will say it'll probably be a pinfall or tap-out win. Not suggesting these guys aren't athletic, far from it, but they're all big, heavy-set guys. Who would climb out of the cage doesn't favor too much.
You don't just walk out the door. What kind of BS is that?
All right, let me quit fooling around and get to work. There's the bell. The Mountie with a kick to the midsection to Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter takes him down, drops an elbow on the arm. The big boss man waiting for a chance to cut in on the dance here. A goozle from the Mountie. He's got the Sarge up from a military press into a power slam. Boss man countered with a hard left from the Mountie. Boss man counters the Mountie with a hard right. Winds up the arm on the Mountie. The Mountie counters with an elbow to the face of the boss man. Misses with the clothesline. Sergeant Slaughter waiting for his opportunity. Headlock punch from the boss man to the Mountie. Look at this. They're both wearing the same striped pants. Oh, okay. The Mountie with a clubbing blow to the chest of the big boss man. Sergeant Slaughter tags him with a knee. The Mountie wound up, counters Sergeant Slaughter's neck breaker. Winds up the arm on Sarge. Top wrist lock. Look at this. The big boss man trying to make his way out of the cage. This might be a short match after all. Sergeant Slaughter says, "Oh, no, you don't, son. Get back in here." Face first into the logo for the boss man. Sarge catches a right from the Mountie. The Mountie setting it up. And there's the mandible claw on the Sarge. And down he goes, the boss man, with a throat chop to the Mountie. The Mountie counters with a hard right. Sergeant Slaughter getting back up on his feet. A headbutt to the boss man from the Mountie. The Mountie catches a Russian leg sweep from the Sarge. Sergeant Slaughter trying to choke the life out of the Mountie. He can do that. There's no rules in a steel cage match. The boss man with an elbow to the top of the head of Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter counters with a hard left. Clothesline takes the boss man down. Sarge going right back after the Mountie again. Rib breaker as the boss man makes his way back to a standing position. Counters Sarge with a right. Gets a hold of Sergeant Slaughter, winds up the arm behind him. Sarge with an elbow to the side of the head of the boss man. The Mountie takes down the Sarge momentarily. And it's a total slugfest now. Sergeant Slaughter, the Russian leg sweep on the boss man. A stomp from the Mountie to the boss man. The Mountie catches a shot from Sarge. A kick to the leg from Sergeant Slaughter. The Mountie counters with a kick of his own. Sarge counters with another kick. The Mountie takes down the Sarge as the boss man makes another attempt out of the cage. Both men going after him. Hard shot to the back from the Sarge. The boss man kicks him and backs him off. And he's still making his way up. Look at this. The Mountie going to try and get out too. The Mountie and Sarge colluding together to get the boss man back in here. The Mountie still trying to make his way out. Sarge says, "Nope, you ain't going nowhere." Sergeant Slaughter catches a nasty knee to the back from the Mountie. Boss man starting to slow down a little bit here. Sarge counters with a hard left to the midsection of the Mountie. And again, the big boss man trying to make his way out of the cage. Sergeant Slaughter right there to prevent it. Boss man with a kick to the Sarge. He's going to try and make it out, but nope, changes his mind. The Mountie catches the shot from Sarge. Boss man catches the shot from Sarge. He's up against the rope. Sergeant Slaughter Drives him into the cage. Ow! Well, damn. The boss man, between the ropes and the cage, the Mountie, hangs him up off the top rope and he goes into the steel. Sarge trying to make his way out. The Mountie with the prevent Sergeant Slaughter with a kick to the Mountie. He's going to try and make it out. Nope, changes his mind. The Mountie's got him up. Slams him right back down. Boss man struggling to get to his feet as the Mountie tries to make his way out of the cage. The big boss man with a shot to the back of the Mountie. Slams him down to the center of the ring. Sarge with a right to the boss man. A knee to the Sarge from the boss man. A DDT to the Sarge from the boss man. The Mountie finally getting back up on his feet. Sergeant Slaughter with an uppercut on the boss man. Boss man whip to the far left corner. Sarge turns him around. And here we go, a series of hard shots from Sergeant Slaughter, and he just tosses the boss man to the other side of the ring. Kick to the midsection for the Mountie. The Mountie counters the elbow. Sarge counters the Mountie with a knee. Fails to connect with the elbow again. The Mountie misses with the clothesline. Wow. Hard right from the Sarge turns him around as the big boss man one more time tries to make his way out of the cage. Realize he can't do it. A chop across the chest of the Sarge. Into a headlock punch. Sergeant Slaughter taking down the Mountie. Catches a knee from the boss man. A clothesline from the boss man. Down goes the Mountie. The Mountie rounded up by the throat by the big boss man, and Sergeant Slaughter trying to make his way out of the cage. The big boss man slams him down center ring. The Mountie with a kick to the midsection, a right, a left, an elbow, and a clothesline from the big boss man takes the Mountie down to the canvas as Sergeant Slaughter tries to make his way back to a standing position. And everybody's starting to slow down just a little bit here. A right from the boss man, a right from the Mountie, who is busted open and bleeding. So's the Sarge as he tries to make his way out of the cage again. The Mountie trying to stop him. Sarge changes his mind, goes back to business here. Man, a series of machine gun punches to the midsection. That's going to destroy your lunch and your gastrointestinal tract. Boss man breaks up the pin. Sarge drives a knee into the leg of the big boss man. The Mountie's laid out, busted open and bleeding. Sarge is standing tall. The boss man with an arm drag. The Sergeant Slaughter misses with the running kick to the face. Sergeant Slaughter gets a hold of him, whips him into the corner. Gets him turned around. Boss man with a big time one-arm slam as the Mountie makes his way back to a standing position. A knee to the midsection. And a couple of hard kicks to the chest to the boss man from the Mountie as the Mountie tries to make his way out of the cage. Sergeant Slaughter, right there to spoil the party, drives the knee into the steel, delivers a punch. The Mountie counters with a kick. Comes back down. A headbutt to Sarge. Sarge counters, misses with the clothesline. Would have took his head off. Boss man nailed him with a clothesline from behind. The Mountie is down again. Boss man gets a hold of the Sarge. Inverted DDT. Big boss man countered with a shoulder tackle from Sergeant Slaughter. The Mountie back up to a standing position. Rakes the back of Sergeant Slaughter. The Mountie gets a hold of the Sarge. A headbutt to the shoulder. Look at this right here, and another. Boss man back up to a standing position here. A series of jabs. Look at this, the boss man twisted on his own petard. The Mountie using his own finisher on him, and he's got the pin covered. Here we go. That is it. The Mountie has won this steel cage matchup by pinfall.
The time, 7 minutes and 16 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, the Mountie.
The Canadians have done well for themselves tonight, with both Rick Martel and the Mountie picking up to pretty impressive wins. Yeah, sure, it's an upset to most of us, but not for the Mountie, who probably feels that this win was not only long overdue, but well earned too.
Tonight's main event when we come back after the break. Hey man, don't leave now. You've been here this long.
It is main event time, and I can't wait for this one, as the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase gets set to face the Sectarian's Papa Shango one-on-one, and I am gonna be watching with my full attention.
I had a feeling you might.
This evening's non-title main event is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first from Omaha, Nebraska, weighing 256 pounds, and representing Money Incorporated region, he's the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
And so, the battle between our WL management and the sectarians rages on this week, with this singles confrontation, and DiBiase boldly choosing to not have John Bradshaw Layfield at ringside. You'd think he knows something we don't, but still, as you know damn well, Tex, Papa Shango can very well lay in a little surprise for DiBiase if he doesn't watch out.
He's been appraised of the situation, and he knows damn well what to look for. The $1 Million champion is not going to fall prey to any of Papa Shango's tricks tonight, I can promise you that.
I didn't like hearing that JBL wouldn't be ringside tonight. Seems to me the $1 Million Man is taking quite the risk, considering that Snake's underbelly Amanda Robinson is still going to be there for the match. Sure hope he knows what he's doing.
I think he does. He's fairly competent, I think.
His opponent accompanied by Amanda Robinson and representing the Sectarians from parts unknown, weighing 315 pounds, here is Papa Shango.
And on the sectarian side of the disputes, the usual theatrics, the usual smoke and mirrors, and a whole lot of bluster and a whole lot of talk. We've heard a whole bunch about how they're going to incorporate a whole bunch of new people, but so far all we've seen is Retribution, Mace and T-Bar. And they're not very intimidating, are they?
They're not on the same level as Shango, Boogeyman, or the members of Isid Valek's court. Tex, you might want to consider putting your considerable resources toward taking them out first, before the sectarian big wigs.
Battle plans are already on the drawing board, Mr. Cardill. And I'll tell you again, Johnny, this is only the beginning. Ted DiBiase, all set to go here, so is Papa Shango as Willie Johnson sounds the bell. They come center ring. DiBiase counters with a kick to the midsection, a clothesline right over the top rope and out onto the floor almost at once in front of Amanda Robinson, the $1 Million Man. Partying like it's 1999, all right. Papa Shango counters with an elbow. DiBiase catches a shot to the midsection. Papa Shango and DiBiase both make their way back inside the ring. DiBiase counters with another kick to the gut. Another clothesline that takes Papa Shango down to the canvas, followed up with a kick to the back. The $1 Million Man dragging Papa Shango center for a stomp to the side of the head. Okay. DiBiase countered by Papa Shango, whipped to the far left corner. There's a kick to the midsection. Down goes the $1 Million Man. Shango assists him out of the corner, alley-oop style. DiBiase counters the kick. Dragon screw. The $1 Million Man rounds up Papa Shango. Another kick to the gut. Tries for the jawjacker, but winds up catching the kick from Shango and a knee to the midsection. That takes him down. There's another kick to the back from Papa Shango. DiBiase whips Shango to the corner. And whoa! Hard chop across the chest. Down goes Papa Shango. And, well, you weren't going to expect the $1 Million Man to play nice, did you? Oh, man. Driving knee right into the chest of the voodoo priest of the sectarians. DiBiase covers 1, 2. Well, just about a 2. The $1 Million Man gathers up Papa Shango. Papa Shango counters with a headbutt. A kick to the gut for DiBiase. Shango's got him up. Rib breaker. And now, the $1 Million Man down on the canvas as Papa Shango starts putting the boots to him. Much to the delight of Amanda Robinson. All these sectarians. There's a kick to the chest for DiBiase. The $1 Million Man with a scoop slam. And oh yeah, Ted DiBiase. He's got a real surprise for you, GB, if he wins this match. There's a shot to the face from Papa Shango. DiBiase whipped to the corner. Shango with a body splash. Takes DiBiase down, seated in the corner again. He's going to give him another alley-oop out of the corner. Oh, man. Ted DiBiase rounded up by Papa Shango. He's got him up. There's another rib breaker. Shango going for the cover. 1, but just a 1. Ted DiBiase still in there punching. The $1 Million Man makes his way back into the ring, turns Papa Shango around and slams him down on the canvas. Follows that up with a stomp to the midsection. That we tried for the clutch, but too close to the ropes. The $1 Million Man with a double axe handle across the back of the big Papa Shango. DiBiase countered into a back body drop. Shango rounds him up by the throat. Pitches him towards the corner. He looks provoked. Here's hoping he don't spit no mist in DiBiase's eyes. Shango, with an arm breaker on the $1 Million Man, has him up, two-handed choke lift, and slammed to the canvas. It looks like Ted DiBiase might be losing control of this matchup. DiBiase whipped to the far right corner as Papa Shango takes a quick breather. Makes his way to the corner, fails to connect with the double axe handle. DiBiase tags him with a right to the back. Papa Shango counters with an elbow, gets a hold of the $1 Million Man, whips him to the corner. Another clothesline to the back of the head of the $1 Million Man. Ted DiBiase down on the canvas again, and the momentum has shifted to Papa Shango for the moment. Here's a kick to the midsection. Oh, this is not going to be good. Sets him up for the power bomb, takes a little walk across town with him, drives him into the turnbuckles. Power bombed into the turnbuckles. Well, that's rough. Here's a cover. One. But again, this is one. Ted DiBiase kicking out of that one real quick. Papa Shango trying to figure out where he's going to have to go next. An elbow to the face from the $1 Million Man. Shango counters with a gut shot and an elbow. Misses with the clothesline. DiBiase gets a hold of him. Gut wrench suplex from the $1 Million Man. Ted DiBiase going to work on a down Papa Shango. Slams his head to the canvas. Where's Ted DiBiase going to go next? Gathers up Papa Shango. Up to a standing position. Shango slaps his hand away. They collide. A clothesline. Again, DiBiase in the corner, quickly out of the corner. Fails to connect with the clothesline himself. Front cradle from Papa Shango into a scoop slam. As Ted DiBiase makes it out on the apron. Papa Shango moves in on him. Whoa! Ted DiBiase suckered him into that one. The $1 Million Man all the way up on the top turnbuckle. Misses with the elbow drop. Papa Shango just a step too fast. There's another backbreaker from Papa Shango with another cover, but not even a one. Well, now Papa Shango starting to have a little bit of trouble himself. There's an arm drag from the $1 Million Man, trying to battle his way back into this one. What a main event we got here. Shango whipped to the corner. The $1 Million Man scoops him up, scoop slams him, and takes himself up to the middle rope. What we're going to see here, beautiful elbow drop from the $1 Million Man right into the gut of Papa Shango. DiBiase covers. One, two. No! Oh, Ted DiBiase becoming a little bit frustrated here. The $1 Million Man rounds him up to a standing position, turns him around with a hard shot, and here it is, the $1 Million Dream. And this could be it right here. And it is. Papa Shango has gone bye-bye, and the $1 Million Man has won our main event tonight by submission.
The time, 6 minutes and 25 seconds. Your winner by submission, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
That was freaking beautiful. I think I've got an emotional hitch in my throat. It was that gorgeous.
Oh, wait a minute, Johnny. We're not done yet.
This one's for you, Johnny Bianco.
No way. No freaking way. Did you have him do that just for me? Tex, you are one of nature's noblemen.
That is what friends are for, GB.
Since you guys are all millionaires in a millionaire club, do you think Ted would be insulted if I offered to buy him dinner?
Well, you could offer it, but I warn you, his tastes are damn expensive. Probably more expensive than mine. But there you have it, folks. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, shutting down Papa Shango and scoring another win in the long, long battle between RWL and the Sectarians.
Man alive, Tex. Check out the ear-to-ear cool aid smile on GB. I do believe you just made the man's week.
I thought I'd do something nice for GB. He's always so nice to us.
And with that, RWL fans, we close out this week's edition of Rwl Sn Rl. Ladies and gents, again, we say a big thank you to all our viewers for helping RWL continue to grow and provide you with quality wrestling entertainment. GB, Tex, and I will all be back next Saturday, August 23rd. But up next, beginning Tuesday the 19th, this week's RWL Rage with Don Hickson, Christy Ogilvie, and Myron Schindelman. And we hope you'll join us. For all of us here at Snarl, Wooly Cardinal saying thanks, good night, and be safe.